pleasantly shocked that he's done quite so well. So I do want you to think about that, but let me tell you about what we do. I have a staff of 8 of us all together. And by the way, my wife Doris is here. I think maybe Mike mentioned her, but glad that she was able to join us. And Doris is actually one of our staff members. She does accounting and bookkeeping and keeping up with everything that I hate to do. My idea of hell would be to be an accountant. Just do not make me. Do you agree with me on that? Can I get an amen? Amen. And all the accountants say,
I'm church secretary.
And so, but Doris works with me, and altogether we have 8 people. 4 people on staff are lobbyists. They're Christian lobbyists. Now you say, there's no such thing. That's like military intelligence or something like that. You know, it just can't be. But we go to that Capitol building every day of the session, pretty much every single day. We read or review all those bills. I said we review. Read would be a lie. But we do review them all. And we determine if they're good or bad or indifferent. But then we have our own legislative agenda. And so we've reached a point where we work with lawmakers and the Bureau of Legislative Research that drafts all the bills. By the way, if you think the lawmakers write their own legislation, then you're mistaken. There may be a handful that will write their own. Almost every one of those bills is drafted by an outside lobbying group, or it's drafted by the Bureau of Legislative Research. And it's kind of cool because when I was working with Bob Ballinger on the religious freedom law and on the interstate commerce law, Bob wrote me a note over to the Bureau of Legislative Research. I walk in, there's this big giant part of the building there full of lawyers, just lawyers at my disposal. And they said, go back and see so-and-so and he'll write your bill for you. So it's kind of like ordering up a hamburger. You just go back, sit down, I want a law, and put this on it. And we had good model legislation from the Alliance Defending Freedom, which is a really good group. And so we just gave them their model, and they drafted those bills. And then Bob looked at them, Mark Hester looked at them, and they said, looks good to us, let's run them. And so they introduced them in committee. And then what we do in the meantime, though, is we educate them about what kind of questions they're likely to be asked when they have a committee hearing, and how to answer those adequately. And basically we send them to a little school, a little tutoring on that particular piece of legislation. And I'll give you an example of right now how that's working today. Representative Robin Lundstrom, at our request, introduced 3 bills to regulate marijuana. And the 3 bills are, number 1, to ban marijuana smoking. Just no smoking. Can't smoke it. Yeah. Y'all said it was medicine. Good. You don't smoke medicine. So we're not going to smoke it. The second bill says no edibles. That means you can't put it in candy, you can't put it in cookies, you can't put it in a soft drink. Don't be bringing me any marijuana gummy bears and trying to sell those as medicine. That's not medicine. And then the third one has to do with local control, where it says that a county quorum court or a city council can ban marijuana stores or farms with just a simple majority vote.
That's good stuff.
I think it's good stuff. And so what that'll do is hem this thing in more. And so, but see, these lawmakers, Robin Lundstrom called me, she said, I need my notebook. Well, in this notebook, we're going to have stories of kids that have overdosed on the marijuana edibles. We're going to have reasons that smoking marijuana is a bad idea. We're going to have a list of the states that have banned marijuana smoking. We're going to have a list of the states that have banned marijuana edibles. We're going to have laws from these states that she can cite. And so we help her as a representative look really smart. And a lot of times we'll actually go sit at the end of the table with her as she makes her presentation. And the representative said, I'd like for Jerry Cox with Family Council to join me here at the table. And as they're presenting the bill, if they don't know the answer, then I better be the smartest guy in the room on that issue. Because there's, you just gotta know it. And so we present that. But not only do we do that, a lot of times we're out here sending emails, making phone calls, saying, Representative so-and-so is undecided on this marijuana smoking bill. He's your representative. Will you call him and tell him that you want him to vote for this bill? And we'll send some of that same education information to the people in the district, and they bring pressure on the lawmakers. Now let me tell you,